here to edify. I want to say this. For me to gain the amount of experience that I have, I had to go through trial and error. I had learned from certain mistakes that I made. And one mistake, which I would like to share with you guys today, is doing work for people with altars. I would definitely say, in the work that I've been doing, I've actually made it like a rule where I do not work with people who have ancestral altars or altars dedicated to the Loi, because from my experience, I know those things are very complicated. Now, there was a female friend of mine's that lives in Canada. We were setting up altars. Now, she lived in a tight knit apartment. Everything is just, the area is small. Now, when I was setting up the altars for her, like in certain places in my home, I was just so accustomed to having a big house. And when I put the certain spirits together, it was all right. So I figured I'd do the same thing. I'd put this spirit, these three spirits here, or these spirits to work with one another, their altars together. And then I would put one, and then the other one would be close, like in another room. But I didn't know at the time that some of those spirits were so powerful that their presence could even radiate, the presence of their altar, or could even radiate through the walls, the close proximity of the walls, So I say this because when you're working with someone with an altar, there's a couple of things that can go wrong. In likelihood, the person who doesn't have the experience, who created, because we think about a person says they're making an ancestral altar, or they're making an altar for the Loi. Who told you what that spirit likes? You know what I'm saying? All right, likelihood you just guessed, or you read on the internet what to do, and that is wrong. Until you know how to communicate with spirits, and I'm not, you know what? I'll let you confuse yourself. I'll just say this. Until you know how to communicate with spirits, leave that shit alone. Because, you're only going to cross yourself. There's certain spirits that can cross your work. There's different crossroad spirits. So when you start talking about, what do you call them? You got Legba, you have Eshu, you have Lucero, you know what I'm saying? You have Kafu, you have different types of spirits that is in control of different avenues of life. And when you do the ritual wrong, it shuts everything down in your life. Then you have certain spirits that are there that can help your spiritual work. Now, when you do those things wrong, their altar wrong or their rituals wrong, it puts a hurting and a stagnation on your work. There's so much things that can go wrong when doing something with a person who is not qualified, who created their own altar. There's so many things that can go wrong. So in that scenario that I gave you, where I had to move, basically eventually we had to take one of the spirits out and then move the spirit altar, this lady in Canada, we had to basically take one of the spirits out because it was too powerful for a house. Even to this day, I had to let one spirit go because I moved into a smaller place. The spirit I used to have in my house, I can't have it anymore. Because I don't have the room. See, this is the thing that a lot of people don't know. They just get all these goddamn altars whatsoever, and they go into, even those that have received, that have went under initiation, ritualistic initiation, They go to these, people and they get this stuff. Now they bring it home. Now the fact that it's in their home and they got other stuff going on, it causes conflict. There's certain jobs, spiritual jobs, that you can do that you can't have in your house or in front of or in any type of proximity with other spirits. If you have these spirits in your house, like prime example, I can't bring an Nkundi home. I used to have an Nkundi, and the thing was, when it was in my house, I couldn't even sleep. You know what I'm saying? I could not sleep. It was like a constant battle going on in my house, and I couldn't sleep. So what I did, I took the Nkundi and I left it outside. Yup. I've heard stories from people who told me that, when they had certain spirits in their house, incompatible spirits in their house, their pipes in their house busted, all types of problems, you know what I'm saying? So I say this to you guys, if you're out there looking to do work for people, man, you got to basically take consideration, you know what I'm saying? Like, who are these people? You know what I'm saying? Do they have the experience? Do you even have an understanding of how to even set up an altar right? There's so many things that can go wrong. And then you'll be in a situation where this client who's fucking up their own life will start saying, your shit doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? See, when you start stepping in the realm of, in gangas, whether it's agattoir, whatsoever, you're stepping into a whole fucking world. A whole different world. You know what I'm saying? This is not, when you step into this world, this is not even work anymore. You know what I mean? You got more responsibilities than just preparing or having good work. You have to know the science behind altars. You have to understand how that shit works and how it operates. So with that said, I conclude this video. Like, share, and subscribe.